Oh, take two. We're going to try this again. I got to 9 minutes and got cut off. Welcome to Psycho's Platters, episode 56, fueled by coffee and Dunkin' Donuts. Out of an 80s mug, by the way, on that. Alright, I decided that I'm going to go off and do the last of the find. Okay, this whole video here, I just decided, to get rid of the rest of it here. And then I still have enough for a couple more videos. But I'll be doing those, obviously, in the next few weeks. Let's start off here with what I got. On Chrysalis, Robin Trower, twice removed from yesterday, with the standard lineup of Robin Trower, James DeWar, and Greg Isidore on drums. How can you got to have your Trower fix. On Green Chrysalis, from 1979, Mike Nesmith, Infinite Rider on the Big Dogma on the Pacific Arts label. This would be the last studio album he would do, pretty much until 1992 when he did Tropical Campfires. From 1968, Steppenwolf II with the chrome border. Beautiful on Dunhill. And yes, it's stereo before you ask. Roger McGuinn, 1976 solo Cardiff Rose. I love this cover. There he is on the back. Pretty much your basic people on here. Mick Ronson pulls a guest appearance. Timothy Schmidt, pre-Eagles, shows up on here. Another Roxy Music, this time a 12-inch single from France. Angel Eyes, one of my favorite songs on Polydor. Steve Niev, Keyboard Jungle from 1983 on Demon. He is the keyboard player for Elvis Costello and the Attractions. From 1980, Berlin's Information. Didn't even know about the existence of this. I knew about, of course, on Geffen, but this time around, it's on the vinyl label from 1980, a German import. Can't wait to actually hear this and see how this sounds. From Roxy Music, Andy McKay, In Search of Eddie Riff. Anytime I ever see a picture like this, I think of sax and violins. That was bad. Pretty much this is on Island Records from 75, black label. Anybody pretty much that ever was on Roxy Music, the first couple albums are all on here. Yes, Eno's on here too. And as an added bonus, Roger Glover from Deep Purple, he's on there too. This one was cool. Yes, I know, you're thinking, you're going, oh, it's Cheap Trick live at Budokan, whoop-de-twang. And you know what? Normally I would be saying the same thing, even if it is one of the best live albums and one of my favorite Cheap Trick albums. Here's the gatefold. Okay. And yes, it came with everything, like it should. Came with the photo booklet. Show you a page here. There's the back of it. Here's the front. But what was really cool, it threw me for a loop because I went to look at this, and when I saw the label, I'm going, hold on a minute, something don't seem right. It's an Orange Epic from 78, of course. Mint condition. The numbers didn't match to the American, and guess what I found out? It's a Japan import. I got a Japanese copy of this. Sweet. I don't, since if I remember correctly, this originally came out in Japan before it came to America. That just makes me feel good. Another Dave Clark 5, Coast to Coast, with the big hit Any Way You Want It. I love DC5. Of course, on your yellow Epic, showed you last episode. I had a bunch of DC5 I found. This one I thought really cool. Remember I showed you guys, I think about a couple episodes ago, that I had a still sealed copy of Mom's Apple Pie, the first one from '72. Well, I ended up with a still sealed Mary Hopkins postcard on Apple from 1969. Yes, there's the front, there's the back. Paul McCartney, of course, produced this sucker. But I like here it says it's a bargain price of $3 for $1.96. I love cutouts. I used to go 70s and 80s. I'd go cutout shopping. Alright, first album I ever owned from this band. I wish I could say this was on the original label ESP disc. That'd be beautiful, right? From the Fugs, Tenderness Junction. That's right, my first Fugs album. Here's the gatefold. Gatefold kind of goes a little weird this time. It goes this way. And if I remember correctly, this is from 1967. Could be 68. Not entirely sure here. But what I liked about it, yeah, it's a Reprise Steamboat label. And I'm going to tell you, pretty close to near mint. Pretty close to near mint. There's like a slight scuff. Very minute. If it wasn't for that, it'd be mint. But my first Fugs. This one I never saw before. Rolling Stones Records. You know, the company the Rolling Stones did for recording. They didn't sign that many acts other than the Stones. I know Bill Wyman did solo stuff. They had Jamming with Edward, which was like a supergroup thing of like some Stones and Ry Cooder and Nicky Hopkins, if I remember correctly. Which I have that somewhere too. And Brian Jones presents the Pipes of Panjauka. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. Which was some tapes that Brian made in 1967 on his trip to Morocco. Other than that, they had Peter Tosh. Yeah, you know, from reggae. Peter Tosh. Bush Doctor is the name. There's the front. There's the back. It's even got a nice lyric sleeve. And of course, yeah, that's right, the Rolling Stones label. I love it. Guest appearances on this thing? Oh, you betcha. There's a handful of them. Hang on a second. It says here, of course, you got Peter Tosh, that's obvious. Robbie Shakespeare and Sly Dunbar. And then Keith Richards on Bush Doctor and Stand Firm, and Mick Jagger duetting with Peter on You Gotta Walk and Don't Look Back. Executive producers, the Glimmer Twins, a.k.a. Mick and Keith. I'm glad I found this. I can't wait to listen to that either. Here's one I've never seen before. Newport Broadside, recorded live at the Newport Folk Festival 1963 on Vanguard. Why did I end up snagging this puppy? Because Bob Dylan is on two songs. Bob Dylan and Pete Seeger doing Ye Playboys and Playgirls. And the last song on side 2, Joan Baez and Bob Dylan with God on Our Side. Pretty cool, I think, on Vanguard. Other people, of course, that are on here. Let's see, Tom Paxton, Phil Alks, he's on here too for a couple songs, and a bunch of other people I do not know, I will confess. Viva Roxy Music, yeah, from 1976. Gatefold. Basically, it's a live album, of course. On Yellow Atco. This one didn't know a dang thing about, but I figure you know me and unknown bands. I wanted to take a stab from 1981 on A&M Records Mayday. None of the people sound familiar on here. None. So I figured, what the heck, and took a stab. Your typical A&M logo. And then, like I said, that was pretty much the bit of the find. That was the find. I'll show you a couple other ones here that I snagged at the Goodwills and another place. Casey and the Sunshine Band's Greatest Hits, okay, from 1980. The thing about this is that I want to say this was released in the spring of 80, sometime, like February or March, on the TK label. It's got a nice Sunshine Sound sleeve, because that was also another company connected to TK. The story goes, and I thought this was kind of amusing, that pretty much this was the last TK release from Casey and the Sunshine Band. Shortly after that, like, I've never seen a copy of this. I never have. This is the first time out of all. I see all the other ones. This is the first one I've ever seen of this. And the thing is, it wasn't on sale that long. Like I said, based on what I'm getting here, there's a single that was added to this, Let's Go Rock and Roll. It was released, it even says released January 23rd, 80. Okay? So, I'm going to take a good guess and say February or March this came out. By a year later, not even a year later, due to some bad business dealings and some not so good ties, it would end up bankrupt. TK would be bankrupt. Interesting musical trivia note, the last 45 to be released on that label, Weird Al Yankovic's Another One Rides the Bus. That's right. So, you know, try to find that sucker, because believe it or not, I think that thing goes for between $20 and $30 in near mint. I've never seen one. I like Weird Al, but that was his first single, was on TK. So, I mean, this album here, of course, it's not worth a hell of a lot, but who cares? It's just that it's neat. And then you want to hear this one. This one was even goofier yet. The label, TK label, ended up getting sold to, of all people, Morris Levy. I think I brought up Morris Levy before. He was the owner of Roulette Records and was in the music industry since the 50s. But he bought it in the early 80s, I want to say, and really didn't do anything with it afterwards. This one was kind of odd, but like I said, I like odd things. Keep It to Yourself. I want to Split the Dark is the name of the band. The only thing here I can hint is it's from Birmingham, Alabama. I've never heard of any of these people, but I'm curious to listen to it. Kind of based on the cover and everything, it kind of almost looks like it could be a little bit more poppy. Hopefully it will be. And then this one was pretty neat. This was an extra special treat. I couldn't believe I found this. The original TV soundtrack to the Jetsons. Jetson on Colpix. Here, I'll show you. On the beautiful golden Colpix label. Now, it needs to be cleaned up. I might be able to get away with VG or VG Plus, but I gotta tell you, it's kind of neat. Not that I was actually looking purposely on this, but I found out that a near mint condition of this sucker goes for $250. Near mint. And like I said, maybe VG, I can get it clean too, and I only paid $25. That's right. Vinyl bargains are still out there, kids. Alright. that's it for the find bit. I have other ones. Like I said, I got about two or three more episodes of records and stuff to be able to pull for you guys. But until then, here comes the shout-outs, of course. Wax Museum with Ronnie Dark. That is required Sunday listening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Followed by Night Owl Lounge with Mike Adams from 9 to 10 p.m. in the best of lounge and exotica music. That is a fact. This is Rock and Roll Radio. Carl, yeah, I try. My computer is so screwed up, and I'm hoping to get a new one soon. I try to listen to Ronnie's show, I try to listen to Carl's show, and I just haven't been able to get that lucky lately. So please, either of you, do not get mad at me. I'm trying here. I am. Sorry if I sound a little odd. I kind of bit my tongue, and I have a sneaky feeling this is going to hurt the rest of the day. But I said, carry on, my wayward son, and don't you cry no more, and make a video for Psycho's Platters. Alright, let's see, who else? Shindig Magazine, one of the best English psych magazines out there. They're out of England. Get it. Barnes & Noble or shindig.com to order. Let's see, what else? Oh, and please go to our new YouTube channel. I have another one now, and so does my... we started a new show, Knights of the Round Turntable, where all the hosts are unstable. It will be under the YouTube channel Knights Talk, as in Knights Talk. The teaser spot has already got over 50 views. Thank you. And like I said, it is 3 of us. We are all sharing the host abilities here. Grant Dobbin, Doug Fields, and yours truly, Paul Pease, are all in this show. I love it. It's filmed live locally, and we're going to talk, we talk about music. That's our goal. The first episode has been filmed, is being edited as we speak. But until then, please go take a look at the 5.5-minute teaser spot. Like and subscribe. You are on the ground level to something that could be exciting in the future. We shall see. So until next week, take care, God bless, rock on.